Sleeping is giving in, no matter what the time is. Sleeping is giving in, so lift those heavy eyelids. People say that you'll die faster than without water, but we know it's just a lie to scare your son and scare your daughter. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 153. We are here live, youtube.com/Nerds Gone Rogue, every Monday night. Usually we start between 8:30 and 9. We are just under the time today. I love when a plan comes together. You can also find everything we do, nerdsgonerogue.com. And we go live on Twitch every Monday as well, twitch.tv/Nerds Gone Rogue. And of course, our pods go live on all pod services the following Monday around 7 a.m. That also includes Spotify and iHeartRadio. Check out everything we do, or everything else we do at nerdsgonerogue.com as well. That includes Nerds Gone Platinum, the B-Sides, the NX show. Am I missing anything? I don't think so.
Nope.
We invite any and all interaction via email. Send any questions, any concerns, any things you want to just randomly ramble about. nerdsgonerogue@gmail.com. We answer listener questions every show. You can also hit us up on Twitter at nerdsgonerogue, Instagram at nerdsgonerogue_official. And who are we? Well, first off, we have Corey Digital himself. You can find him at Corey in HD713. Yes, I changed your last name. How are you, Corey?
I'm great. Only
cool.
less than 3 weeks till Fire Emblem. So
I know somebody's excited. I saw your post earlier.
Yeah.
Well, we technically have two people that are excited. That second voice you heard, that's our beer drinking, burger eating, PlayStation enthusiast, Brian Moose Kluel.
Sup, party people.
You can find him at Sven. That's at SVHENN. How are you, sir?
Doing well, man.
Y'all nice and clean?
Yeah.
So fresh and so clean?
Got home late from the gym, helped the wife cook some burgers.
Awesome.
Surprise. And then was enjoying those.
Standard.
Yeah, exactly. They were so tasty. I was enjoying those, and then fell down a rabbit hole of YouTube videos and was like, oh shit, I got to shower. So here I am.
Got to clean this YouTube off me.
That's right.
And we have a special guest tonight. We have El Capitan himself, Ray Osorio, Mr. Extra Life, Mr. Phoenix Overdrive. And he's now an unknown nerd, even though we all knew him before.
Yep.
How are you?
Very much.
I'm
doing good. Rise above, everybody. How's it going?
It was unknown knowledge that you were a nerd, Ray.
Had no clue.
So before we go any further, tell us about your new thing, Ray.
Okay, so a couple friends and I, we decided to start another podcast because, as you guys know or may not know, for some of the people, Nerd Overdrive has currently been on hiatus. Don't know exactly when it's coming back for sure yet. We've been trying to see if we can, reboot it, bring it back, and get it going. But life and a lot of everything has kind of been happening, especially with like Becky and Lee and family. And Becky went back to school and all this, and so it's been a crazy time. So that's
and there are assassin daughters keeping them on their toes.
Yeah, Jules is definitely a firecracker, keeping them definitely busy. So with that, just kind of came off as an idea, kind of inspired actually by Corey, because Corey always kind of is always trying new things and doing new stuff, and you guys are doing new things and expanding different things. So it was just like, you know what? And it came up like, hey, we should do a podcast. We were having just a talk on a PlayStation Network, and we were just all like, man, we should really like record those next time. And that's where it kind of came from that kind of thing, from us just having BS talks.
Huh? Sounds like this show.
Hey,
Hey Matt, Want to do a podcast?
No idea what you're talking about.
Sure.
I'm too busy sleeping during Destiny. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. So
good times.
So yeah, that came. Nerds Unknown podcast came about from that. So it's me and my buddy Juggy. I don't know if you guys have met Juggy, but we used to be Destiny diehards back a while ago and stuff like that. It was
Paul Wright for a while too.
Paul Wright for a while, but life has kind of been kicking him in the pants with new job and new schedule and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of like our rotating chair. Like when he's available, he's in. Otherwise, he's not. Like it's 3 of us, and then possibly 4, whatever Paul's able to join, and then Will Adams from Pon. Okay. And he's mainly the Xbox dude, but he goes by Jester, and so we kind of just been doing that. So it's like just a regular old entertainment podcast. We talk about nerd stuff, culture, games, comics, movies. We're actually going to be talking about anime. That's going to be fun because anime for me is like, I like anime. I love anime. I have animes I enjoy. It's just not been in my wheelhouse lately. So that's going to be fun to kind of bring that back and talk about, old stuff.
Been watching the Neon Genesis on Netflix?
Oh man, I haven't got around to watching it yet. I've just heard so many terrible things. I mean, it can't be worse than Death Note, right? Like, is it really worse than Death Note? Because Death Note was pretty bad.
I mean, I didn't watch it the first time around, and hearing a lot of people like Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of those animes that like people
transcend anime.
It's almost like the Final Fantasy VII of animes, like because everyone just has such a strong attachment to it. And I'm watching it because I'd never seen it before, and over the past like year or so, I've developed a weird interest in mechs. And I've been watching that, and I think that goes some places for a mech anime, because instead of just dealing with like, hey, we're super tough, we're really good at piloting these giant machines, it really sort of deals with like the existential issues of people being in war. Like it's like a really great war movie that lasts for multiple episodes.
Yeah.
And it also goes into like some subtext, and the way people are complaining about it, I'm like, none of the stuff y'all have said about Eva is lost on me. Now, don't get me wrong, retroactively kind of pissed that Netflix didn't do the Fly Me to the Moon at the end, because A, that's one of the only Frank Sinatra songs I'll listen to multiple times in a row, and B, the guy on YouTube that basically did all of the ending credits for every episode of Eva shows all of that and how it changes over the season. Like, that's super creative, and I've not seen another show do that. So like, I think that's probably where Netflix fucked up. And I also don't think, I mean, I haven't gotten to the episode that a lot of people have a bone to pick with, but most of the other stuff, I don't have the attachment, so I don't really have the anger for it. But
yeah, I haven't got around to watching it yet. So that's my thing, is I haven't got around to watching it yet. So I'm interested to checking it out, but if I don't check it out, it's not the end of the world for me anyway. Mm-hmm.
I started watching Death Note, and I just couldn't get into Death Note. So
I tried, and the only reason I actually finished Death Note was just because like it's one of like Stacy doesn't really watch much anime and stuff like that. But for her to be like, hey, like she likes like the more like traditional like campy anime like Sailor Moon, and like she got into Death Note like a while ago, and old Death Note anyway, and stuff like that. So for her to be like, hey, I want to watch this, so I kind of was like, okay, I'll watch it with you. And that's, otherwise if it would have been just me, I would have been like, bye. I would have turned it off, but so yeah, so that's just been kind of life in a nutshell,
doing the streaming thing.
Yeah, the streaming thing is new. I actually rebranded, so I'm no longer the El Rey NY anymore. I'm El Capitan Plays.
Okay.
So you can find me on Twitch and YouTube and all that fun stuff there.
Okay.
So streaming that, and then doing the Nerds Unknown podcast. Right now it's just on SoundCloud because we got to get all the formatting stuff all figured out for.
Isn't that fun?
It's because like we submitted them, and then like Stitcher is like, hey, this is cool. And then Spotify is like, no, that's not good. You got to fix this. And, trying to make them all happy is a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah, it is. A big pain. And then sometimes that pain has a pain. It's
I looked, and the last time I was on the show was like April of 2018, so it's been a little while. So since then, I'm engaged.
Just think about this. At least with that pain, you don't have a pain of having me as a host. So
that might be the
I mean,
biggest pain.
I would follow you to the end of the earth, Matt. Like you and Corey, you guys are Moose. I don't know. I may have like my stopping point with Moose.
That's understandable.
Moose would be the one to be like, "Yo, we're gonna go here." I'm like, I don't want to go there, Moose.
I like how Moose is like, that's understandable because even I will dump me at some point.
Moose will go if there's burgers.
That's right.
Burgers and beer.
So congratulations on the engagement.
Yep, engaged, and then 8-month-old daughter.
Yay!
So she's 8 months old. She's very much little me. She has a lot of her mother's like attitude, but she's pretty much little me and like everything else. So
she walking around doing this little hashtag thing, saying,
"Watch my daddy."
She's very much a daddy's girl too, and much to mom's dismay. You know, she's very much a daddy's girl, as all my girls are pretty much, except for the teenager now.
It's quite the opposite here. My kid only wants mommy.
Rip.
Yeah.
Even though she looks like daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Don't say that out loud. No.
I
see her every time, and I'm like, that's little Corey.
It's a really tiny Corey.
She turns 1 on Saturday, so.
Oh, the baby.
Birthday hype.
That year went by really fast. I'm not gonna lie to you. So,
I bet.
But, anyways.
Game time. What do you say?
I guess.
Unless you do we have any further announcements, Corey?
No.
All right then. So game time. I wasn't setting you up. I wasn't trying to test you.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, actually, we might have an announcement, but Matt and I need to have a discussion first. So follow us on Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue for the big announcement.
TBD.
If you've been following our Twitter and the Twitter conversations, you know what might be happening. So
okay,
we might have a very, very, very special guest next week.
Yeah, might be the one of the bigger guests we've ever had.
So true.
Yeah.
Rip.
But
I'm small potato still. I get.
No.
It's
like
he's gonna get here and be like, "What have I done?"
Yeah, like either he will be happy to have come, or he will be like, "Don't ever put this show out. I am sick of y'all." All of which I'm like, you know what? Fair.
Ray, let's just say you've heard of this guy. Probably, most likely.
So
Message the name, and I will tell you yes or no.
I mean, honestly, he's kind of a hero of mine, and one of the reasons why I tend to look at different stuff because of the way this guy talks about games. So I hope he comes on. So let's get to game time because Lord knows I haven't played very much other than other than what might get talked about. But what have y'all played? Guess first, Ray. What are you playing? Ray. And he's looking off to the side.
He's gone.
Ray, hey, Ray.
I'm here. I have children. One second.
Children. Hi, children. Moose, what have you been playing?
A whole crap ton of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So jumped back into that.
You're doing the DLC part, right? Or no?
Well, yeah. So I think I'm doing the Divine Beast Challenge portion of it.
Okay.
So you get a weapon that basically takes you down to a quarter heart of health, but the weapon is a one shot. It's you can hit anything and one shot it. You just have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have these challenge areas on the starting plateau, and you have to go clear them, and then shrines pop up, and you have to go figure out the shrines, and then you'll get new locations. And I just haven't gone to the new locations yet because I've fallen down the rabbit hole of Korak seed hunting. So now I'm doing that, printing out the maps, checking them off on my locations as they go when I find them. Mainly because I'm getting tired of like having to leave good gear behind. So once I get to the amount you need to like unlock everything, then I don't know. We'll see where I am. Maybe I'll go for all of them. You know,
I mean, you printed out the map. You have it.
Yeah.
Now you just have to do what Corey said last week, where you have to forget that you got one in an open area that's going to be really annoying later on.
Yeah, well, what's nice is the map in the game actually highlights where the seeds were, so like you can like kind of be like, oh, already got that one, mark it off, you know, and just because I started in the upper left corner of the map, which is, for those who haven't played Breath of the Wild, is like the frozen mountain area of the map. And so I started up in that area, and I'm just going to clear basically the map that I have. So the map of the game is broken up into like 9 printouts that I could, you know, so that you could actually see where you're going and what you're doing. And it's kind of like following and finding the shrines when I did the shrines. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with them. Like there's one where there's a shrine underneath like this rock formation, and I thought the seed was up top, but it was actually down underneath where the shrine was, and there's this big giant like ancient fish skeleton. So like you've got to like chase the little flower thing along the skeleton, and so I was like, that's actually pretty cool. I'm enjoying that. So I'm actually enjoying doing the hunting. It's just like my thing is like I just didn't want to do it blindly. You know what I mean? Like, just go out there and just be like running around like an idiot. If I have what I like to do with it when I was doing with the shrines is like I don't like I'll look in a general location and be like, okay, here's a shrine, and go and try my way to find it to get to it, instead of being like, all right, zoom in as far as I can, try and put a marker and be like, this is exactly where it is, and I have to go. You know what I mean? Like I'm just using the map as a guide. And then like that one I was just talking about with the fish skeleton, it took me like maybe 5-10 minutes before I realized it was underneath me. And then it took me a while. And then I was like, you know what? I bet you it's by that shrine. So I walked to the shrine, and then I was looking around and stuff. And then I found the little pinwheel thing that signifies where they are, and then chased it around and stuff and caught them. And I was like, that was cool. I like that. I did not feel like that was a waste of 20 minutes of my life. I had a good time with that. So, been enjoying that. Super Mario Maker. I was talking before we actually started the show that my skills in Super Mario Brothers are weak because I haven't played a Mario game since New Super Mario Brothers on the 3D.
DS or 3DS?
No, it was the DS. It wasn't the 3DS. It wasn't a 3DS yet, so it was a DS. But anyways, so I haven't played a Mario game since then.
One of several people to text me and say, fuck your level, Matt.
That's what I said. I've been having fun with that. I just finished a level in the game not too long ago. So I'm having fun going through story mode. Been playing that. Introduced my niece and nephew to it, so they had some fun playing it. Then we played some Mario Kart. They enjoyed that. So, but that's been Division. Doing dailies in the Division now that the raid is going to have matchmaking where you don't have to go in with your clan.
Oh, they finally did that.
Well, I think it's in beta testing, but it's coming.
Okay.
It'll be in an update. So that'll be nice.
That'll probably be something I have to do overnight on a Sunday, but yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah.
I'll go after the trophy that I don't have.
Yeah, they did a cool thing with I play as a demolitionist. And so I'm kind of enjoying that. And it used to be like you could only use LMGs or submachine guns, but now they've actually like revamped the skill tree, and so now you can pick 3 weapons. So like I picked an LMG, assault rifles, and then the regular rifle. And so then that way I have 2 builds. I've got an LMG, assault rifle, and then a rifle / submachine gun build. And can run around with those. But I'm finding that I'm not enjoying, like there's an artillery turret. The artillery turret. I was trying to say the artillery tree to the turret. and then you can only spec in that in Demolitionist, which I understand because it's blowing shit up. But I'm just like, I don't know. I think I need to have more patience with it and use it more often before I completely be like, I don't want to use this. I don't like it, but I don't know. I still like the regular turret most, or the fire turret. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I went with Demolitionist first. So yeah, the turret on that is the artillery turret does take some time in getting used to. But when you get those enemies, especially like in some of the strongholds and stuff like that, when you're doing those and they're grouping up in a good area, it does work.
Yeah. I'm sure it wrecks shop, especially or the guys that are coming in off the helicopter and they rope down, and if you just time it. That's my other thing. I probably just need to get used to my timing. Is half the time like people are gone, or there's only like one person there when my artillery shell hits. So, but anyways.
Apparently Bagel wants to say hi, y'all.
Yeah, it's a doggo.
Bagel.
Say hi, Bagel.
What's up, buddy?
Get him some
He's like-
cream cheese.
He's like looking off camera, and I feel like Reva's right there, and she done him dirty. She did him wrong, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like you. Like, this is my safe spot. Like, I feel like
how dare you, Mom, make me get on camera?
Mom's done me dirty, Dad." But
yes, Bagel, Mom did you dirty, and I played right into it.
I think. Did we talk about me playing Bloodstained last
No.
time?
Oh, by the way, I
Bloodborne.
do need to interject. Speaking of things with blood in the title, Jason Marshall in the chat said there are no trophies in Breath of the Wild.
I understand that.
Actually,
And,
there is. There's one big, giant golden turd trophy that you get if you collect all
There
of it.
is. Yeah, I'm trying to get that. So I played some Bloodstained, which I'm enjoying. I need to get out of the tutorial. The glitch or error of like loot not spawning in chests, which are linked to trophies. We thought it was still live at the time I was playing it, so I didn't go very far. Matt,
Right.
you and I were talking about that, and then apparently it was fixed that day. Like there was a patch to fix it on
Yeah,
PS4.
they sent out a Kickstarter update about that and like the problems with Switch. Like they're currently working on fixing all of that. So
Yeah. But
So yeah,
that's pretty much it for me.
Nice.
Cool. So back to the guest, Ray. What you
Sorry,
been playing,
guys,
buddy?
about that. 'Cause,
That's
the
okay.
kiddos, you know.
You know.
So I've been playing a lot of Rocket League lately. Actually, it's been weird.
What year is it?
It just
2015.
we had a tournament in the streamer support group I'm a part of, and I'm a mod there now. Streamer Zone. They had a tournament, so I was prepping for that. I'm still not
Nice.
as good as I'd like to be at all. I'm okay. But Rocket League, Spider-Man, because I'm finishing the DLC.
Nice. How you liking it?
I like it. Because I finished Spider-Man a while ago. Like, actually, I ended up finishing Spider-Man right around the time Stan Lee died.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Yeah.
DLC, I did the first couple, and then I just never did the last one because I was just like, I didn't wait for them to all drop like I had planned. It's like, I want to play more Spider-Man, and then I played them, and then I didn't finish the last one. And then what happened?
Did you nab the platinum?
No, I did not. Unlike you guys, I'm not really a big platinum. I think the biggest platinum that I knew I had to go for was Diablo.
Okay.
Matt was there for that.
I was just curious if you got it because I know it's grindy. It's more grindy than it is difficult. So.
Yeah, I know a couple people that actually went for the platinum on that, and they went hardcore. They played nothing but Spider-Man for months.
It was
Just because it was grindy?
That game is not a difficult platinum at all.
No,
It's one of
it's
the
just
reasons-
time.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
I
time
mean,
consuming.
I just want to say, Breath of the Wild, Spider-Man, fucking good games, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, those games are good.
Then I did touch a little bit of Division, just because I wanted to play some of that. Grand Theft Auto 5. Again, what year is it?
I was gonna
Grand
say
Theft Auto
I've
Online?
seen you been playing that, Ray.
Actually, I only played it because I had a newer buddy of mine need some help, and then of course a friend of the show, I guess you could call him, aka the resident troll, Adnel Dominguez.
Yeah.
He was like the main reason why I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to play that anymore. But we were playing, and he was actually behaving himself, so he wasn't super trolling. like he usually does.
Well, that's
But
good.
that was the reason why we did that. And then I actually busted out the Super Nintendo Classic. I busted that out yesterday, and I streamed that for a little while. And that's how I know my Mario skills suck, because it's been a while.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I was playing Mario World, and I'm just like, yeah, I just died for no reason. But this is not Mario Maker is not going to treat me well. It's really pretty much going to be one of those things where I got that. I want to play it, but I'm probably going to save the whole struggle for the stream, like my first experience with it, for when I first stream it. And then from there, because I was talking to a buddy of mine, he's a real big Switch streamer. And I'm just like, he's like, no, you save it and you save it for the stream. You can save the struggle for the stream. And I'm like, can I get struggle snuggles after? He's like, always. I'm like, thank you. Because I know I'm going to need them. Because it's
what am I doing not streaming? I want some struggle snuggles.
You know what I mean? Like, because I know it's going to be bad. And if any indication of what Matt's already been talking about, people, messaging him and being like, dude, fuck your level. I'm not, it's not going to go well.
I just remember when Mario Maker 1 came out and I sent a level to Corey to play on stream. I think he did stream it. And then after he finished it, he sent me a picture of him holding his Wii U gamepad with my level on it and just holding the middle finger up to it.
I was there for that. And I played it also, and I hated you every moment of it.
But see, like he ended up. Well, see, I ended up. I wanted to get that level out super quick, so I just put in a bunch of shortcuts so I could complete it. And then he ended up finding all of those and using them anyway, and still being pissed off. So yeah. I just want to say, in reference to Mario Maker, if you want to get your skills up, the best way to do that is to actually play the story mode. The story mode is actually really good. For all the levels are pretty bite-sized. Like none of them are super in depth, and they don't get like they'll end up exploring a mechanic far enough to make it challenging, but none of it is like super. None of it is punishing. So like I think the story mode works both ways, where you can reacquaint yourself to platforming Nintendo style, as well as get some inspiration for creating some levels. Like the first level I set out to create, I actually had to demolish because I realized it was the first one of those that I actually had trouble with in the story mode. I'm like, wait a minute, I basically ripped this shit off. Reset like, rocket, blow it to hell.
He's like, I remember this.
Yep.
That's why it seems so familiar.
Well, but see, the thing is, I went back to the story mode and I was still at that level and ended up beating it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen all this before. And then I looked at my level. I'm like, oh. Yeah. I try not to be a ripoff artist. I really do. I'll homage till the cows come home, but I'm not going to just straight up steal.
No blatant ripoff.
What else you playing? Anything?
I actually started playing Capitan, which is a mobile game by Capcom. It's a card battle mobile game.
Okay.
I saw that. Didn't that just drop?
It just dropped on 4th of July.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, really recently. Okay.
Yeah. So I started playing that, and it has Capcom characters. It's interesting. And then, of course, my favorite or not so favorite, depending on the day, Magic the Gathering, of course. Still been hanging in there with the Magic.
Still commandering it up.
Yeah, but I don't play that Magic Arena bullcrap because it's a cash grab. I'm not going to pay money. I'm not going to pay money for a digital card that I'll never actually own.
So you still pay money for like physical cards then?
Like I still get physical cards, yeah. Because I mean, at least those have some kind of resale value if and when I ever decide I want to, maybe either cash out of Magic or move things, or if I need new stuff.
Well,
whereas
just to throw something else at you, have you tried Keyforge?
I did try Keyforge, and that's the one with the pre-constructed decks and all that stuff. And yes, I have.
That game is fucking awesome.
It's fun. It's from Richard Garfield, isn't it? The creator of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
So
he had like his first real complete flub with that artifact thing he did for Valve.
Yeah, well, that's because Artifact was like doomed to fail anyway.
Artifact wasn't. I mean, I think it was just the wrong space personally.
Yeah,
I just. Because everybody's expecting a certain game from them, and
Yeah.
But no, like when I went to a learn to play Keyforge event here with Reba, and she's like, so what is this game? I go, okay, you like deck building stuff, right? And she's like, well, yeah, we play Clank and we've played Dominion, like games that are basically deck builders.
Yep.
And she likes those. I go, okay, so this, you don't build the deck, you get the deck and it's built. So you just have to play against me with that. And she's like, well, do you know what you have? I go, no.
Nope.
And sort of the beauty of it is you don't buy actual cards, you buy decks, and you can't, everything is built in a way that you can't interchange.
Yep. And it's all random too. Every deck is different. Like if me and you could buy the same like deck pack or whatever, and our decks would be completely different.
Right. And that's one of the things I absolutely adore about it. Like I would buy more if we could play more, but like we just can't because life is kind of annoying right now. Yeah. But like as someone who played Magic, way back in the revised 4th edition days, like I'm actually absolutely in awe of how awesome and intuitive Keyforge is. I've had talks with you about Magic like in a modern context, and I don't get it. I just don't anymore.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. The game of Magic has evolved a lot, and then just because they cater and they change the way cards play, and then they can't reprint certain cards because they have their reserved list, and they don't want to piss off all the collectors and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. So with that kind of thing, Magic has evolved to I don't know if you saw the story I posted here recently, but it's considered the most complicated game in all of mankind. Like literally Magic the Gathering is the most complicated game ever created.
I don't know. It depends on how they're defining complicated, because Magic the Gathering is really not that hard, or at least when I
start playing. But once you get into the intricacies of how cards interact with each other and rulings and it's super complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it become I think convoluted. Yes, complicated. I don't know, but then again, I haven't really played Magic to any degree I think maybe the last time I played with any regularity was when I first moved to Philly, and that was like 2004, 2005. So it's been almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And I was still playing with my old cards anyway, so.
Yeah, and stuff's changed. So, and then the last game I've been playing, now that I think about it, because there's a big Overwatch reminder right in here in front of me, is Overwatch. Again, what year is it? Because, a lot of those games are games that from years past, but
they're still good.
Yeah. They're still good, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you have a group to play Overwatch, because that's the reason why I kind of stopped playing, is because the whole group that we had going, like it was like Maya, Muffins, and those those people.
Oh yeah, Dr. Man Muffins.
Once they stopped playing, it kind of like, and then it was just me solo. Overwatch is no fun playing solo.
Oh no, because then eventually you have to sort of dive on the sword to be like the healer, because no one else will. And then when you're trying, people are yelling at you like, "How aren't you killing stuff?" And you're like, "Because I'm supposed to be healing you. You're supposed to be killing stuff." And they're like, "No, you need to get good."
It's bad when the healer has the most kills.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's just like I had one of those matches once, and I was just like, "What the hell is going on here? I should not be winning this."
Yep.
So I think we're gonna move on to Corey.
Yep.
What are you playing?
Oh boy, what haven't I been playing, Matt? Let me tell you what I've been playing.
I mean, you just uploaded a Mario Maker level. I know that.
That is true. I completed my first Mario Maker level, and I was like, this is gonna give some people a hard time. Gave me a hard time. So,
yeah.
And now that I think about it, I feel like a lot of people are gonna beat it like relatively quickly, but I don't care. Mm-hmm. I've been playing around with that. I can't get off Super Mario World. I try to use the other skins, but it's just like Super Mario World. It's just like perfect.
Yeah, it's really good. It feels so nice to jump.
Plus it gives you the option to sacrifice a Yoshi if you need to, and it's just like rip Yoshi. That's all I have to say. I wonder how many levels are called Rip Yoshi.
Kill Yoshi.
Yoshi dead.
I've been playing that. I also in preparation for the 3 games I'm super excited for this fall, or
Fire
this
Emblem.
summer and fall. Fire Emblem, Luigi's Mansion, and Link's Awakening.
Is there a release date on Luigi's Mansion yet?
No,
It's
a lot
September,
of people are
I think,
pointing
or something like
October.
that.
A lot of people are pointing at October, but for now it's just fall 2019. But
I'm like that's the next big Nintendo game I'm going after.
so in preparation for those 3 games, I charged my 3DS. I started playing some Fire Emblem Fates, some A Link Between Worlds because I've never finished it.
Ooh.
Hey Ray, what was that question I was asking you?
What year?
Oh yeah, what year is it?
And Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon because I've actually never beaten that either. So
You've never finished Luigi's Mansion? Dark Moon?
Not Dark Moon, no.
Right.
Now, did they move another one of those to the Switch or no?
Nope.
No, they moved the original one to 3DS because that makes sense. Jesus Christ, Nintendo.
And it's funny. Dark Moon is like way bigger than the original game, and it costs less than the original game.
I mean, I loved I actually bought the GameCube version to play on Wii because I had a Wii that you could do that with, and I love that game. That game is so good.
I've actually pondered bringing my Wii back home because I have a bunch of stuff over at my parents still. And Matt, I've told you.
Yeah, I know you showed me the list.
I know. Oh, there's more. By the way, I went over yesterday, and yeah, there's more lists. But I've actually because I bought the really nice component cables for Wii, and my Wii is a backwards compatible one. So I actually really thought about bringing some GameCube games home to play them on my TV, or stream them or something. It's I'm really playing around.
Like I played the Master Quest for Ocarina of Time on Wii. That was
Yep.
Wii was a better console than people give it credit for. But like
it just didn't get a whole lot of love.
But also it was also the Wii.
It extended the life of my GameCube quite nicely.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So I've been playing that, and then I've also been playing a lot of Destiny. Still trying to get Outbreak perfected. It's just every time we get to that boss room, we just get shredded. And it's just like, man. So that's
keep banging your head, you'll get it.
Yeah, I'm sort of doing that. And I also bought Box Boy and Box Girl for Switch.
Okay.
What a delightful little game that is.
Yeah, like it really it's easy as hell though.
I know,
really
but
is.
it makes me feel smart, and that's what I like. So,
fair.
But that's kind of all I've been playing. Nothing really earth shattering in my world.
Cool.
So, some Assassin's Creed, some Borderlands, some
Which Assassin's Creed?
Odyssey. I'm like 50 hours in and nowhere near the end.
Yeah, that game can go on forever if you let it.
It will go on forever because there's too many question marks to erase.
And then all the DLCs are out, or all
I
the
know.
DLCs out there that they've got. And then I think there's one more, I think.
Yeah, there's one more episode to the Atlantis DLC. And then they just added the story builder mode where you can actually create your own quests and dialogue, and it's that game's gonna go on
Which
forever.
people are farming for XP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you literally go in, you walk to a point, boom, mission done.
Yep.
And then XP started over.
Yep.
There's a few missions in Neo like that where you just basically get to the end and use it to level up with your Amrita. There's a callback for you.
But yeah, that's kind of all I've been jumping on lately.
Nice.
Yeah, I've only been playing Mario Maker, not to step on you.
You did. You stepped on me.
I did. I'm sorry.
Squish.
Not the buttons.
Oh wow, callbacks. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
I've been playing nothing but Mario Maker, but that's not. I haven't really spent a ton of time with it since I got out of work Saturday morning, and we had like a breakfast lunch thing with the soon-to-be mother-in-law.
That's called brunch.
Well, it wasn't quite brunch.
Why not? You didn't put some chicken strips on them waffles?
No, I did not. No, we didn't have waffles. But then I ended up getting my first Mario Maker level uploaded. I felt really good about that. It's been attempted 193 times, 0 clears. So yeah. Sorry, not sorry. Can't wait for Corey to, rip his hat off and shred it with his anger.
It's gonna be awesome. Time.
But like I started doing that, and I finally got that done, and then I started downloading levels. Like I finally downloaded the Celeste Creators levels. I'm in a giant bomb group that's devoted to Mario Maker levels. I started downloading a bunch of theirs, and they are just as, if not more, heartless than I am. So like this get like Dan Reichert said on the most recent Beescast, like I have a really hard time comparing this to other games because it's just not, I don't get the same thing out of it at all. Now I'm not in the use case that he's in where he could say, hey, I uploaded a level and then immediately go on Twitch and see people trying to beat his level. I don't really care about that personally. I like looking at the stats on my own, and I hope one day someone beats it. But also, like that's probably the only real sadistic level I'll make. I'm currently working on a puzzle-based level for my partner, and that one I'll be significantly more doable than the one I first uploaded. But I like doing the endless thing because you can basically pick. You can basically pick your pain level on that one because there's like easy, normal, expert, and super expert. I've tried a little bit at every difficulty, and the way that it throws levels at you is actually really cool. I kind of wish there was a better way to like stuff and keep access to stuff. And this is probably because I haven't really attempted it either, but like I would like to download some of the levels I've really had problems with and beat them. But Mario Maker 2 is, I think they did something a little bit more special than 1 now, especially with like the story mode. Like I was saying, the story mode works 2 ways where it'll reintroduce you to platforming Nintendo style, as well as give you nice inspiration to make stuff. If you want to make stuff, you don't have to.
On a side note about the story mode, I feel like we've had the conversation with Captain Canada where he's like upset because it's like you're paying a certain amount of money for Super Mario Maker 2, but I feel the story mode helps justify that.
Yes.
So like, and I feel I've never played, he of course references a lot of the PC games that had like free map makers and all that stuff and free multiplayer. And I've never played those games, so I don't have any attach rate to any of those levels, but I feel like there's a lot more attach rates to the people actually like creating levels and people making them. Like people creating them and then people playing them to beat them. Like you have like Celeste, the maker of Celeste, has 6 levels out there now, I think, probably more since the last time I checked, which was the other night. I'm sure the creator of Spelunky, once he gets done with Spelunky 2, was probably going to create some, because I know he did some last time. There's a bunch of people that created some levels, and I just feel like Super Mario Maker 2 is well worth the amount of money that you're going to be paying for it. Plus, it's just good old fashioned Mario Brothers fun, man.
Yeah, there's so much. I get so much joy out of just beating a level in that game.
Yeah,
be it difficult or hard. Like even going through my own level and having my own bit of stress with that. Like when I found myself making progress, I was like, yes, I did that. And then and like Corey said, like I only use the Super Mario World skin, and it's for a couple of reasons. I think that's where Mario 2D platforming feels the best. But also when you go through the goalposts, like that victory music it's just like
point.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And I think it's like it's one of those things that like someone could play that at any time and all of a sudden I'm happier.
Mm-hmm.
But Mario Maker it's when I said like I remember the discussion we had with Captain Canada about that, and he's like, it's just a level editor. I go, actually, no, it's not. I mean, the outside opinion is, yeah, okay, I can make a Mario level. Well, take that to one side, but then like look at Little Big Planet. Like Little Big Planet had a way more robust creation suite. However, the lack of familiarity prior to it and the level of detail they go into in that makes it intimidating. Whereas, like you could say, oh, here's a Mario where you could make a level, and and just about anybody who's played games for the past 35, 40 years might understand how Mario works over, like in general, in some capacity. And it's easy and intuitive to say, oh, I know what happens when I see the little turtle shell with the duck face out of it. I know what happens when I see the mushroom with feet. I know how all of that works. I mean, even like Snap Map and Doom, like, sure, there are people that'll go hog wild with that and make very interesting levels. However, not everybody's going to look at it and go, oh yeah, I could totally design a first-person shooter level. Whereas most people will be like, oh, I have to get Mario from here to here and put all this stuff in the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things, easy to do, and it has a high skill ceiling. So, and plus, one of the things I like about Mario Maker as a whole is there's a legitimate place for all of the Kaizo stuff to come out on. I wish there was a way to like curate things better so you could parse all that stuff out. Because like watching, I think Graham Pooh Bear is the one who does like the Kaizo Mario World that are just like it's just absolutely insane, like difficult Super Mario World levels that were created on PC and circulated that way. Like that's where the Kaizo term came from. Like having a legitimate spot for all of that in a mainstream Mario setting is special. And even though like Mario Maker 1, eventually it just became overrun with conveyor belt levels where you didn't actually have to touch the controller to win. Like it would be a oh, you start this level and then Mario drops from the sky, hits a trampoline that's on its side, and then just lands on a conveyor belt, and you just watch this Rube Goldberg machine happen, and then all of a sudden it puts you through the goal, and you're like, oh, if I touched the controller, I would have died. But the fact that people can create that stuff is amazing, and deserves to be noticed and held up. Whereas other games with level editors, they might be better games in people's eyes, but the level editors just aren't the same. And Mario Maker 2 is fucking special, and even if you don't want to make levels, there's plenty for you to play, whatever skill level you may be. Play it.
Nice.
Cool. Anybody else play anything else? Anybody else have anything to add?
I think that was about it.
I'm not used to you all listening to me like that. It's real weird.
I'm saving my Mario Maker cherry for playing it on stream. Like I just got it today. I installed it and everything, and it's ready to rock. And first stream back is when I'm gonna pop that in and ready to rock. Just kind of like you said, it is something special. Just from what we had in the first one, it is more than the level editor. It is, basically it's kind of like make your own Mario, and you have all these tools, and your imagination is your guide. Like if you can imagine it, you could probably almost do whatever you can imagine and think of.
Yeah.
And that's where it's different, because if you saw like Doom Eternal, like for example, like the Bethesda games have a high level of interactivity with being able to mod things and create your own levels and things like that since the original Doom or the Doom 2015 or whatever it was. But you don't have access to the whole tools, the toolkit like you do with Mario. And you can probably come up with some amazing badass levels and kill some badass things in Doom, but it doesn't give you that magical Mario feel. And that's the big thing that Nintendo's always been able to do, is they've always been able to kind of replicate that magic with most of what they do. And Mario Maker is, no exception to the rule.
Yeah, and then plus they also break their own logic in cool ways, like using all the assets across all of the skins except for like the 3D world. Like that's creative, and you'll see stuff in a Mario 1 skin that wasn't around till World or 3 or beyond.
Yeah,
and using that is cool as well. Giving that and then changing. I mean, I like the fact that in my stage, I use the Mario 64 music because why not?
Just because why not?
Yeah. So, okay. Well, with that, I think we're ready for questions.
Yeah, questions.
Let's go for it.
We got a few of them. So up first, Micah Summers. Hey, y'all, I just found you. Episode 149, looking for some cool pods to listen to on my flight overseas to Scotland for vacay. And yours popped up. Y'all got a cool vibe I'm digging. I decided to write in and ask, what are some weird things you do when you play games? Do you have any quirks or habits? For example, I like to find and do all side quests available before I take on main story in RPGs. Thanks for the cool pod. Well, Micah, thank you for stopping by. Gentlemen.
Well, I found all 900 Korok seeds in Zelda, so you got to do that stuff.
You do that every time you play games?
Most of the time. Sometimes, like, I look at a game, I'm like, I won't even start it because I know what I'm gonna have to do. And like, the sad thing is, like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a game that I put off for a long time because I knew as soon as I started, I was gonna have to clear out all of the question marks.
You're gonna have to deal with all the Ubisoft map vomit.
Yeah, and I started it anyway, and now I'm 50 hours in, and I'm like a third through the game. So,
jeez, that's insanity.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what I have to do.
Ray Moose.
Depends on the game. Like, if it's mindless grind, music helps, podcasts help, that kind of stuff. Just because it's like there have been some great games, but after a while they just become like, especially like RPGs and stuff like that, where they become that mindless grind where you're just like, I just got to get strong enough to go to the next thing. And that kind of thing. So it's like music, podcast, that kind of stuff helps. As far as stuff goes, like, I always, depending on the kind of game, like if it's a team like based game, like let's say Overwatch, I always tend to, like, even though I know I shouldn't, I always tend to kind of be the guy like, fine, I'll be the healer, where I kind of give in to the peer pressure, even though I probably shouldn't. And then it's kind of like later on when
it's like, we all can't be Hanzo or Genji. What the heck?
And then when we win, it's like, you're welcome. Kind of like the snooty healer, be like, hey, it's because of me because we won. But
it's like, well, and it's also demoralizing as a healer when you have like the highest score, but you don't get the play of the game or some shit. Like,
yeah, when you have like 5 gold medals with Lucio as a healer, and it's like tanks. DPS, what the hell were you guys doing? Like, what the literal F were you doing? Like, come on.
Overwatch. That's a game that I want to get back into Overwatch.
If you have it on PS4, we can play, because that's PS4 or PC. Those are the 2 places I have it, and I'll play on either.
Well, I won't play on PC, so PS4 it is. All right, gotta go download it.
I mean, I think about Overwatch. I've been thinking about Overwatch a lot lately, and every time it crosses my brain, I'm like, man, Overwatch is awesome.
Unless you're playing comp, because comp is cancer.
And then I'm just like, I'm never gonna play that because I don't play it at normal times because I work overnight. And
I mean,
I'm not going to play long enough to really get good, but every so often I'll throw on Twitch at work and I will watch some Overwatch because Overwatch is really cool.
If the baby keeps up with what she's doing, you probably will have a partner because she's been late nighting it to like 3 a.m. and then passing out till 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually playing between like 10:30 and noon in the morning. So, I don't know. I don't know if I have any. I don't know if I have any weird. I mean, I like. It sucks. Like, what sucks about being like a PS4 first gamer is I look at trophies way more than I should. I mean, I should just play the games and not look at the trophy, but it's kind of ingrained at me at this point.
You've been that way as long as I've known you.
Yeah, it's just like I look at it and be like, okay, how much pain is this platinum going to be?
And side note, RIP Evolve.
Yeah.
That was literally the first game that.
Yeah, it was first game. Yeah, we were friends on PS4 for like 4 years, and then we played Evolve first, and then eventually, like Ray would see me on Evolve. I'm like, you don't want to go where I'm going, man.
He's like, you don't want to go. You don't want to follow me where I'm going.
He's like, you like fun, right? And he's like, yeah. I go, you should stay away from where I'm at.
He's like, what I'm doing is not fun, but I have
what I'm doing is not fun. I'm not sure I will be the same person you played Evolve with to begin.
It's the opposite of fun.
Yeah. Still one of the rarest platinums I have. So
excuse me, nobody decided to play it.
Yeah,
it was like one of those flash in the pans, and then I think didn't Bloodborne come out right after that or something like that? It was like one of those games that came out right after that, and then it was just like, well, bye.
Yeah. I didn't play Bloodborne until after I got the Evolve Platinum, and then I platinumed the shit out of that game. But I usually like looking at trophy lists really tends to skew my thoughts about a game early, and I wish it didn't. But I have Devil May Cry 5, and I want to try that game, but I did the dumb fucking thing of looking at the trophy list and people talking about how hard the platinum is. I'm like, oh great, so I'm never going to do this, am I? And eventually I'm just going to bite the bullet and play it and get over myself.
DMC, one of the only games on Xbox 360 that I got all the achievements.
Nice.
Well, one of 12 games, I guess.
Yeah, I bought that the same day because I never actually played that and wanted to.
Oh, DMC is great.
But
it runs way better on PS4 and Xbox One than 360, by the way.
But and then like in terms of, I guess, I mean, it's probably going to change depending on the game. But like in Hitman, I have a lot of dumb quirks too. Like I will find the silliest weapon and try and kill people with it. Like I was watching the quick look for the new level, and you could pick up a cheeseburger, and Dan Reichard's like, Brad, you have to kill someone with a cheeseburger. And he throws a cheeseburger at someone and knocks him over, but the guy gets right back up. And he's like, a cheeseburger? He's like, no, you have to hit him with the other one. So he goes over behind him and just smashes the cheeseburger in the back of the head to knock him out. I do dumb shit like that in Hitman because it's fun. Moose, do you have any quirks or silly things you get up to when playing games?
Not really. I just, I guess listening to music when grinding and stuff. Like, I like juxtaposition, like taking ABBA and setting it to some Bloodborne, and just like, it's so much more relaxing when you're like playing Bloodborne and ABBA's playing, and you're like, there's no stress here.
Can you please make a video of Take a Chance on Me with some stylish killing going on?
Sure. There is something about putting your hammer into an ogre's face while you're hearing "People Need Love" by ABBA. It works.
So, yeah. So it helps, but it's good. That's pretty much it. I don't have any other quirks.
ABBA and Bloodborne. Good times. Okay, so we'll move on to our next question. The man, the myth, the legend, Deshaun Malone. It's National Video Game Day, so you know what that means. I won't ask you what your favorite game of all time. Rather, I will ask, what is your most hated game of all time? And what is the game you hate the most that everyone loves? lives.
Oh boy, pass.
I think mine has the same answer, unfortunately, especially in this crowd.
What's your answer?
Bloodborne.
You hate that game the most?
I hate that game. Moose was there for the 3 times it happened to me and the reason why I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
You know why that is, Moose?
Because you lost your save files?
I lost my save files while playing with Moose 3 different times.
I don't know.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how it happened because I'm like,
So it's like ancillary to the game. It's not necessarily the game.
Not because of the game itself.
Okay.
It's just what happened while playing the game. And so like I know all of you guys really love Bloodborne, and I wanted to love Bloodborne, but once it kept doing that, I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because like no one likes doing things over. Especially if you've done them the first time. And, I know Moose and I are a special breed that'll play that game multiple times, but
yes,
I have a secondary answer to that too. That's actually because I don't like the Witcher 3. I know people love Witcher 3. Like I have so many friends of mine that love Witcher 3, and I just I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. And I tried, and I've tried and tried and tried. Gave the game about 30 hours, and I just still I don't like it. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that would be my game, Witcher 3. I don't hate it. It's just a game that everybody loves that I'm just like, I just can't. The controls, although I have heard that there's some new controls settings that you can kind of
Tweak with
a little bit, in a patch recently, and so I was like, well, maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I'll re-download it and try it again, and we'll see what happens. But I'm just like, I don't know, whatever. It kind of makes me leery about Cyberpunk 2077, but I don't know. Like, I'm interested in that game, but then I'm also like, please don't let your controls suck. Just do a good job with them,
right.
You know. So I think the biggest complaint about that was like the auto targeting on enemies, and you're like trying to get away from enemies, and it's auto targeting, and you're like, no, like I don't want to target that. I'm trying to get away, so I don't fucking die. Like, let me roll away and continue to rolling me into the enemy league.
AKA a la Bloodborne.
No, Bloodborne doesn't do that.
No, but what Bloodborne lets you do, like lets you not stop targeting a certain enemy, so you can,
you can switch it pretty easily.
Oh, yes, it allows you to stop targeting enemy, and it doesn't auto target enemies. So, anyways, I got what you're saying now, Ray. I was like, wait a second, no, Bloodborne does. Anyways, but yeah, that would be my game that everybody loves that I don't like.
I think the game that I dislike the most, I think it was because I played this, like, it's Assassin's Creed 2. No, and I remember playing it, and I had genuinely liked the first one. But then when I played 2, I'm like, I don't find this fun. And then it was a buddy of mine who lent it to me, and he's like, "Oh, well, you haven't played it enough." I go, "No, I'm like almost done with the story, and this game sucks." He's like, "But it's so pretty." I go, "That doesn't make it good." He's like, "I don't know. I don't think you've played it enough." So I eventually said, "Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hate platinum this game. That way you can't say I haven't played it."
Hate platinum.
And
you didn't play the DLC, Matt. You didn't play it enough.
Was there DLC for Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah, they literally removed chapter 12 and 13. You went from chapter 11 to chapter 14, and then they released 12 and 13 as DLC.
Oh, what the fuck ever? No.
You got a flying machine though. Huh? Huh? Da Vinci builds you a little airplane. You can fly around from wherever the fuck that game took place.
The thing that I hated about Assassin's Creed was the races, like the foot races, where you had to go through the different obstacles with the parkour and crap like that.
Oh,
that was the worst.
But I'm sitting here, I'm like, every time I run by anything, if I'm holding the run button, I just snap to whatever it is. I'm like, last time I checked, this is Assassin's Creed, and this guy's name is Ezio Auditore, not Peter fucking Parker. He's not fucking Spider-Man. This is this is kind of dumb. And I eventually handed him the game. And he's like, so what'd you think? I go, I got every trophy in this game. This game sucks. And you can't tell me I haven't played enough of it. He's like, what do you mean you got every trophy? Because he didn't know what trophies or achievements were. I'm like, okay, I don't have enough time at this point to explain this to you. This game sucks. You're wrong. I'm sorry. and he never talked to me about games after that. I don't really know why. But I also I don't like Final Fantasy. I don't like Metal Gear Solid. While I don't have the hate for The Witcher, I do find it interesting that I bought it day one and I still have it and have not put it in my PS4.
You know what's messed up is I bought that digital.
I have it physical, and I have the guide too. Someone sold me the guide for real cheap. I'm like, all right, fine. And I've just never opened it. I don't like Uncharted either. I know. Ray's the wrong person to say that.
I just saw Ray's face just get really sad.
I'm not gonna sit here and dig into Ray about that, but I just never have.
It's about time for me to redo a playthrough of those.
I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything else that people really like that I don't?
I got a good one, and by a good one I mean a bad one. But I don't like BioShock.
You're probably not wrong because a lot of the stuff in those games hasn't held up well.
I know, but I tried to play it a couple months ago.
Which BioShock, the original?
The first one.
On what?
Xbox One. The collection.
The remaster or whatever.
Yeah.
The
collection was like $14 or something.
They didn't do a good job with those remasters, just saying.
I mean, I don't have any other way to play it, so
yeah.
I'm not gonna go search another way to play it. It was on sale on Xbox. No.
You can play with a controller on PC.
Well, my PC is not hooked up because it doesn't work. So
no.
But it died.
That's a story for a different day. So
it did.
He died.
Xbox One it is.
So Deshaun also has a little additional portion to his question. He wanted to ask, and how was your 4th? And if Cap is on, how was your boring Thursday? Ha, Canada.
You got the other Cap. Wrong Cap.
It was good. Mine was good. We went to my friend Brian, who I haven't seen in a really long time. We went to his house for a pool party and ate a bunch of food and swam and
nice.
And we were home by 5. It was awesome because he works the 3rd shift. So we went over there, hung out, left when he was getting ready for work, and home by 5. It was awesome.
Nice.
In my PJs at like 9. It's great.
Nice.
It was awesome. I love when you do something and you're still home early enough, and then you just get in your PJs early and lay on the couch and finally.
# dad life for Corey.
Well,
dad life is
what happened
over.
was, Matt, by the way, I finally got on that Giant Bomb Premium bandwagon, and I came home that day, and Sana and the baby went to bed, and I laid on the couch with my Switch, playing some Mario Maker, and watched some Mario Party.
Oh yeah, Mario Party.
Let me tell you, Mario Party is worth the $5 a month alone.
It really is, because watching 3 people insanely hate themselves and one person just having a good old time, surprising how entertaining.
Worth the price of admission.
Surprising. Like just watching Jeff, Brad, and whoever the 4th one is. A lot of time it was Drew.
It's Drew, yeah.
And watching those, you just go, what the? Why are we doing this? And then Dan is just like, yeah, Mario Party. It's so much fun.
It's funny because in Mario Party, the 3rd one, they're like, they're playing and Dan gets screwed over. He's like, that's not fair. And then he lands on another spot and gets to steal star. He's like, that's totally fair. It's totally fair.
Yep.
Everybody's just like, shut up. Nobody likes this game.
Yep.
I also started watching Metal Gear Scanlan too.
Yeah, that's the only way I've liked Metal Gear.
Yeah, I know.
Metal Gear.
Metal
Uh,
Gear.
Like, and actually, like watching that series actually made me want to play 2, just because I played 1, didn't like it, and never really went back.
Like I was watching 1, and I was like, man, this game is way different than I've never played Metal Gear Solid 1, and I'm like my only like real kind of experience with it was through Twin Snakes on GameCube.
Okay.
And like I was watching the original, I'm like, man, this is not the game I thought it was at all.
No, it's not.
It's like a
it's all the GameCube one spoiled you.
It's like a top down, like it's almost like those NES ones or the MSX ones or whatever, and it's just like top down and PlayStation graphics. I'm like, oh, this okay.
I mean, you want to play a good one of those?
It
Play Never Stop Sneaking, because Never Stop Sneaking is really good.
It made me really want to play Metal Gear Solid 1. Like, it just looked interesting. It looked different than, like... Because, like, I mean, I played a little bit of 2 and 3 and 5, and, like, I didn't really get into them, but 1's kind of like a totally different type of game, and I was like, man, I kind of am interested in playing 1.
I mean, God's interactive movie that was 4.
I mean, at the time, 1 was just so different of a game. Like, I can recognize how important that game actually is.
Yeah, like now I kind of see it too. You know?
And same with like Final Fantasy VII at the time. Like I could see how important those are, but it didn't mean that I enjoyed my engagement with them.
Rip Wild Arms.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Moose, Ray, good fourths.
Yeah. Went to my brother's house. He had a 4th of July party. Ate 2 cheeseburgers.
Only 2
cheeseburgers.
Only
went
2?
to the bosses, or to the wife's boss house for 4th of July in the evening. Ate a 3rd cheeseburger.
Yeah, there we go.
Questioned my
question your life.
level of intelligence doing that. And then I mean it was pretty good. We were home around 10:30, 11. We weren't home that early because we were watching. He was setting off fireworks himself.
Okay.
And had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Drank some good beer. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good.
Ray?
Mine was quiet because my older girls were with their mom, and Stacy was working She was working a 16-hour shift, I think, and then I was with Ryan, so it was just like quiet, just me and her, just hanging out. We went outside because the marina here close by, they do fireworks there. I can step outside my front door and watch them from there. So, yeah, but it was pretty good, just quiet. I was just kind of annoyed by people just setting off fireworks. Like I would get her asleep, and then because babies, they usually wake up to almost anything, and then boom, and she's awake, and it was just like, you suck,
mother.
I'm gonna start calling Moose Wimpy. If you guys know the reference.
Yeah, Popeye. Yeah,
Popeye. I'm gonna start calling him Wimpy. I will
gladly pay you Tuesday for a burger today. For the 4th, for me, I didn't have to work, but I still have to stay up to maintain the sleep schedule. So that was where I basically redid my Mario Maker level, and I watched a lot of Parks and Rec while I did that.
Nice.
And man, that's a good show.
That is a great show. I feel like it's a little underrated because of The Office.
It's way better than The Office.
No,
I need to watch it.
I mean,
I've never watched
in the
it.
grand scheme of things, like people hold like The Office on this like pedestal. Which
don't get me
wrong, I like The Office. It's got some cringeworthy things, especially in that first season. Like, boy, I can't believe this aired. But Parks and Rec is just like.
Parks and Rec, like, I mean, once Adam Scott and Rob Lowe show up,
oh gosh,
like from then on, like the series is gold. So it's like they get through their growing pains of the first season, and then when those two show up, like it just becomes straight gold.
I love how Rob Lowe's character calls everybody by their first and last name. Like,
yeah,
and Perkins,
Leslie Knope, Ron Swanson.
so
Yeah,
good.
the only thing I know about Parks and Rec is what I've seen on Facebook from memes and stuff like that. But other than that, that's about it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
no.
And then when Andy like lives in the hole outside of their house,
Oh,
house
God.
for like a couple months.
So I was trying to write this song for Lil Sebastian's death, and I thought, what's 5,000 times better than a candle in the wind? 5,000 candles in the wind. That show is really good.
It's so good.
And then Captain Canada. Let's just talk about how boring his Thursday. No, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, Canada Day was last week, right? That's kind of the same
Canada
thing.
Canada Day was on Monday. They had a good time. They went for fireworks the same day we
They swam in
recorded.
the maple syrup pool, and
They went on the raging river with their Tim Horton trays. I'm
and they
pretty
went
sure
on
that's how it works. That all checks out.
They went on a hike with some Mounties.
Yeah. They found some elk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Caribou.
Yeah. They probably had some Klondike bars because I can't really think of anything else at this point. But whatever.
They put on their red jackets and their Mountie hats.
Yeah. In fact, pictured Phillips in one of those giant Mountie hats makes me happy.
I know. It makes me laugh.
That's amazing.
Okay, our final question of the night. Ashley Davidson. I really enjoyed your indie show this morning, and it inspired me to write in again. What is one game, regardless of AAA or indie or somewhere in between, you think everyone should play? Love you all. Well, speaking of which, Ashley, you should look at, if you want to talk about indies, you should look at the officially endorsed indie list that is pinned to the top post on nerdsgonerogue.com. It's all there. Top 20 have prices. The honorable mentions have prices. It's all there. It is all there. As of any others, I leave it to the panel.
I think everybody should play. This is the first game that popped into my mind, and it's coming to Switch this fall. So everybody should play Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath.
That's coming to Switch. Awesome.
Yeah, it's all. I guess. Lorne Lanning tweet or I don't know. I saw it on their official Facebook page, but he says people who own a Switch are gonna have a very Oddworld fall, and apparently, I think it's the Abe's Odyssey remake.
New and tasty.
Is coming this fall. Munch's Odyssey is coming this fall, and Stranger's Wrath is coming this fall, and then Soulstorm will be out sometime next year. So
awesome,
dude! Nice. Stranger's Wrath is so good.
It is way better than anyone remembers.
Oh my gosh! I found my physical copy, and I tried to put it in my Xbox One. It's not backwards compatible.
Son of a
F. Such a good game. Play it. It's on PS3, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know
Moose,
if it's on anything else.
Go ahead, Ray.
I would probably have to say like Ori and the Blind Forest is one. Like, everyone should really play. Okay. Is one, but I take that back. Journey. Yeah. Everyone should play Journey.
Journey's really good.
For the to Sean's question, I almost said Journey, but I said BioShock instead.
Oh, you don't like Journey?
Oh, I didn't really, because I played it so long after the discussion. I played it when it came to PS4, and I was like, it was fine. I feel the same way about Inside also. Like, it's just, like, I feel like Limbo is better than Inside, like way better than Inside. But
fair.
That's again.
I mean, that's actually probably true, because Inside to a degree is more Limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like not new. It's not like a fresh take.
Yeah. It wasn't the surprise.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation.
You're good.
No, you didn't. was good points. I, for myself, AAA, play some Bloodborne. Goddamn right, I'm gonna say play.
I'm gonna let Moose have this one because I know Hero's probably gonna say it.
Because then you'll just fall down that well of Soulsborne games.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have those to play, which are nice, and those lead you down the path of Dark Souls, and Sekiro, and all of the games that are kind of like it, but like Neo, kind of, but not exactly like it. I need to play the Surge because Surge 2 is coming out, although I probably won't buy that until it's like on sale. But I feel as AAA, like if we're talking current gen, not AAA, but like indie, if we're talking like current gen, I really think you do need to play Ape Out. I need to get back to that game. I thoroughly enjoy that game. I don't think I like it as much as I thought I would, but I think it's because my expectations were too high for it when it came out. So I think now that I've got some time between it coming out and me last playing it, I think it'll be a little bit different. So Ape Out, you should play some Ape Out. Castle Crashers is phenomenal couch co-op, multiplayer, hack and slash fun. Can't wait for that to come out to Switch and PlayStation.
Same.
It's already out on Xbox, but that remastered version, now it's 60 frames per second. That version's what's coming to Switch and PS4. I feel like Hollow Knight is awesome. Like that game is so good. And then my last indie would have to be Axiom Verge. You have to play that game just because one dude designed the game, coded the game, and wrote the music for the game. Tom Happ is friggin' awesome. So I can't wait to see what his next game is. He's already working on it, but that's gonna be awesome. But I also did want to say Breath of the Wild. So pretty much most of it you could play on a Switch if you got one, but obviously not. But Breath of the Wild. So I thought for a while that Skyrim was still more near and dear to me than Breath of the Wild was, than Zelda was. And then I started playing Breath of the Wild over again. And I feel like if you play through the game and then have an understanding of it and start over again, it's not as bang your head against a wall as I feel it was the first time I played it. Because I feel like it's really open. You can pretty much go and do whatever you want. If you want to go and take on Ganon when you first wake up or whatever, you can. But I feel like, my second playthrough, I have a better direction than the first playthrough. And it is just amazing. It's awesome. It's awesome just running around and doing certain stuff. And the way that you can take out enemies is freaking cool. And the map is huge and the world is huge. And it's a lot of fun. It's an awesome game. But anyways, those are my must plays.
Nice.
I mean, for me, I definitely agree with Breath of the Wild. I mean, when I put the indie list up on our site, I genuinely believe that all of those games are worth your time. Even the ones that didn't make the 20, the honorable mentions, all of those games are worth your time. I think the one game that I would say people should play, and this is still very recent because I just finished it a couple weeks ago, is The Gardens Between.
That's a great game.
And I think it's more because I did not expect to be as affected by that game as I was. It's also it's an adorable little puzzler. It's not very long. You don't have to drop a crap ton of time into it. And it's really fun to watch everything happen. I think if I wanted to dig back in like the recesses and say like these are games that like are hard to play now, but you should, if you have a way, you should try it. I got two. One of them is kind of out of left field. I really like the game Deadly Premonition.
Oh yeah.
Like it's one of those like, yeah, this is kind of a bad game, but it's still good. It's probably my favorite sweary game. But and also like as someone who likes Twin Peaks, I think that in terms of games, no one's really nailed that sort of thing the way Deadly Premonition did. And then Eternal Darkness.
That's a
I
good
agree. I agree with that one.
On GameCube. Like if there were games that I wish, you know, more people referenced, like with modern things going forward, like those are two games that I would say, look, these do some really weird and cool things that maybe should be brought forward. I mean, Eternal Darkness, especially the way that finds a way to just constantly mess with the user, like more of that, please. I mean, even like I guess it was it the Metal Gear Solid 1 that did that too? Like
Mess with you with like the memory card and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was it the Psycho Mantis fight or whatever? Like he'd be like, "Oh, so you like Castlevania?" or something like that.
It was like there were a bunch of Konami games that you would like check your save file and then be like, "Oh, you like Castlevania?" And yeah, that was. I was like, "What's going on?" And it took me a while to figure it out, but that was cool.
I mean, I feel like that would be a fun thing to try. I don't know how you pull it off. I don't know what sort of needs to happen in order to pull it off, but I kind of wish more games did that, because that's something I sort of like with like board games. Like if there's a way a board game can sort of break the fourth wall and mess with the players, like I'm all for that. So yeah. Thank you for your question, Ashley. It's always nice to hear from you. It's been a while since we've heard from you. Just want you to know we miss you. So unless anyone else has anything to add, I think that's a show.
No, I'm good.
I suppose.
I agree.
I guess.
I mean, you have anything you want to talk about for the next 8 minutes?
No. I need to talk to you privately though before you go to work. So.
Okay. Well, I will say this. I do want to congratulate the U.S. women's national team for winning their fourth World Cup.
Yeah,
but I know
it's second straight.
I know it's their second in a row. They're the second team to do that. And they are like this team specifically, like these 22, 23 players are probably the best female soccer team in history. Probably better than, I mean, I feel like they could probably take the men's team out to the shed because the men's team has done nothing but devolve of late. But yeah, all of these players are amazing, and they, I believe Elijah Chandler on Twitter said that they need to be paid as much as the men, and he got a whole bunch of shade. But like, well, clearly the person sending this doesn't know anything about economics. Well, motherfuckers, if our men could generate any revenue, which they can't, I don't care what you say, all they do is generate, oh, well, we suck at soccer, so I'm going to hate soccer. Well, it turns out our women are actually some of the best to ever play the game. So, I feel like they maybe deserve more than the men do, because the men are treating it like, hey, we use the national team to get ourselves a spot at a low-level European team and get paid. Because even low-level European players get paid way better than they'll ever get paid playing in MLS, and the women don't even have that shot. So pay the women's national team more, because hey, they fucking win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to go on a stats deep dive, the U.S. women's national team has never finished below third in a World Cup. That's unprecedented at any level. Like either they win or they finish third. What do you want? It's crazy how good our national team is on the female side of the gender bracket, I guess. And Megan Rapinoe, I put on my Facebook earlier, that's my Captain America because for a long time it was Claudio Reyna who was like a long-standing captain of the U.S. men's national team. He played for a long time, played in Europe for a long time at a decent level. Rapinoe has earned that title with the last 2 World Cups and her entire playing career as a whole. No, she hasn't scored as many goals as Mia Hamm did, but who the fuck has? In fact, speaking of this, U.S. female national team member Mia Hamm scored more goals than anybody ever. Like she's had more goals in international football than any person, male or female. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Pay the females just as much as you pay the men. Matt's rant over.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support. Silence. Sports ball.
We were listening to you. We wanted to make sure we felt every word of it.
Our U.S. women's national team is fucking good, man. I would actually say they're better than most male national teams.
Not wrong.
But yeah, they are really, really good, and they deserve everything that they get. And you know what? I'm alongside their shade. They're going to throw at the president because I'm that guy too. So I think we can call that a show.
Mm-hmm.
This has been episode 153 of Nerds Gone Rogue. Ray, before we get out of here, plug your shit.
All right, guys. So I am the team leader of Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life. You can find us at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can find our community at, I think it's facebook.com/groups/PO Nation. You can find us there. There's all kinds of awesome things happening with Extra Life. Especially integration with Facebook for fundraising, making our lives a lot easier there. We actually do have a couple announcements for some raffles, so stay tuned there to get involved if you're interested. They're definitely gaming related, which I know a lot of people are always fans of.
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch, YouTube as El Capitan Plays. So that's the Spanish or French spelling. So Capitan, Capita. It's French too.
Okay, all right.
So, but most people, because I find that a lot of people like saying it. I am a variety streamer there, and I kind of stream a little bit of everything, whatever I'm feeling, kind of thing. Mario Maker 2 is coming down the pipeline, as well as Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I know Corey is very hyped for that. I'm hyped too, so definitely very, very, very hyped for that. But other than that, make sure you support Extra Life. If you have more questions, you can always find me Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find me. Send me messages, questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything you want to send me, because we're always looking for more people to get involved. This is my 10th year.
Money for the children.
Yeah, I can't believe it. This is my 10th year of doing it. I started back in 2010 doing this, and I've been doing it with Phoenix Overdrive as a team for
7 years now?
I think this is our 6th year. Or no, 5th year is Phoenix Overdrive, 6 years working with Becky and Lee.
Okay.
The other 2/3 of Phoenix Overdrive. But yeah, it's really been a crazy thing, and kind of talking with people and sharing my story about how I was a sick kid and getting other people involved and wanting to give back has been definitely crazy. It's been a crazy ride so far, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what more we can do to break records, bring more awareness to it, and just do awesome things.
Cool. Moose, where do we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram at Sven, SVHENN. You can also find me discussing the PlayStation platform with my Hammer Bros, Jason and Jeff. We usually go live Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show goes live Thursday mornings on the YouTubes and the podcast service of your choice. You can tweet us at ng_platinum, or you can send us questions, comments, and concerns at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com.
Yeah. My name is Matthew Keel. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's an A.
My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me in the social medias everywhere you want at infinite_rewind. That's also my Twitch handle. I don't stream near as much as I would like to, but I keep it around because it's more in my future than it has been previously. So that's where you can find me. You can also find the indie list as the first page or the first post on nerdsgonerogue.com. Check that out. For anybody that might want to write in and say, hey, what indie games do you recommend on Switch? Well, there's like 70 of them there. Those are 20. There's our honorable mentions. And then there's the rest that did not make the cut. It was everything we brought to the conversation. So it's all right there. And pricing as of the date it went up. Other than that, just find me here because I like talking to all these chuckleheads that happen to come on through. Corey.
Yeah.
No.
All right. I guess I can do that. You can find me on Twitter at CoreyNHG713. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitch at CoreyNHG. You can find me on the NX Show live on Saturdays or on Tuesdays in an edited podcast form with Ed and Jesse and Ray Apollo. You can also find me doing other things on the internet. I want to thank everybody for watching Nerds Gone Rogue. You can find us live on Monday nights at 8:39ish on twitch.tv/nerdsgonerogue or youtube.com/nerdsgonerogue. You can also find all of our backlogs of podcasts and other stuff on nerdsgonerogue.com or on podcast services of choice. Please rate us, subscribe, review us, give us those 5 stars, subscribe, share, follow, whatever else you need to do to, get Nerds Gone Rogue in your ears and your eyeballs. So
do that because that's your first entryway to any giveaways we might do.
Yeah. Also join our Facebook group, like us on Facebook, just Nerds Gone Rogue, and on Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue and Instagram at Nerds Gone Rogue _official. Maybe special guest next week. Also maybe a time change next week depending on guests. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on Twitter for that information. And I think that's it. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Until next week, we love you.
Banana and out.
You're welcome.
Above, guys.
That, and then at the very end, it's a long gauntlet, and that is, I think, overall that'll be the place where like, oh, you can get through all this. Yeah, I'm doing great. Then you see that, and you're like, oh.
Then you're just like, well,
that's because it got to the point where like, yeah, I had my troubles getting through the single screen stuff, and then once I got to the very end, like that was the part where I just had to remind myself of all the dexterity that I needed. But that's usually how I usually create like one ridiculous level, and then I try it. Like the level I'm doing now, I'm actually doing for Reba, so I'm trying to make a puzzle level that'll be that won't require so much dexterity, but it'll require her to go like find stuff.
No, Yoshi,
that's actually a really good idea.
Oh no.
Oh, Marshall says he got to the multiple cannons.
Multiple cannons?
Yeah, I have a level. I have a screen where it's like there's 4 cannons, or 5 cannons. 4 of them are orange and 1 of them is black. So you have 4 cannonballs zigzagging across the screen really fast, and then one going across it real slow. Oh, someone completed his level.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations. Upload it and we can start.
Please wait.
Thanks, Nintendo. Oh, God.
Are you guys fans of Stranger Things?
I just haven't. I need to finish season 2 and watch 3. I think I'm getting rid of Netflix, so I have to like
Watch all the good.
Yeah, I gotta watch all that. I gotta watch Punisher 2, season 2, all of what's his face, Daredevil. I might skip Jessica Jones because I have a feeling they might just take all that and move it over to Disney Plus later.
I would like to think so, but the way that contract was worded, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's just going to stay on Netflix until they take it off. Unless Disney unless they go and they buy out everything, but like, hey, how much do you want for the whole catalog?
Which, I mean, they have the money.
Yeah. I just don't know if they're going to do it. Funny thing is the DC streaming service is dying. It's going to get killed off like as quickly as it started. It's like, bye. It's like, what the fuck?
Which is crazy because Swamp Thing was doing pretty well, and then they were like, done.
Well, there was some other behind the scenes crap that was going on with that stuff. Like they didn't get all the film credits they were supposed to get for filming on the location that they were at, and blah blah blah. And nobody wants to put in their own money on it because, God forbid somebody from DC Warner Brothers be like, hey, we're going to save it.
Yeah. That's funny.
Whereas Netflix is going out there and saving shows that are like dead in the water.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But anyways... Green screen, you've been streaming lately, man. You trying to do that as your money-making jobby job?
Just a little side hustle, I guess. Nothing major.
Nice, man. That's awesome. I saw your Instagram. That's cool.
Can't knock the hustle.
If I can make a couple $100 a month playing games that I'm already going to play anyway,
yeah,
why not?
Yeah. I agree.
I just got my first payout in May,
and
that was like $120. And then my payout last month was like $250.
Yeah.
Nice.
This one's probably going to be more like 100, like 120 maybe or so again.
Nice.
Because you got to make at least $100 in order for Twitch to be like, hey, we're going to pay you.
Hey, don't sit on my Switch.
It's uploaded.
Cool. Okay.
Send me the code, Corey, later.
Okay.
Can't wait. I do not apologize.
And then what I'll do is, unless the girls have levels ready for me to go, your 2 levels are going to be the first 2 I start on.
I'm waiting for Todd's son to post levels.
Dude,
Pass.
Logan, I will give it a go, but if I die more than 15 times within a certain amount of time, I'm going to be like, okay, Logan, you win.
Don't try my level then, because
I can imagine, but I'm just saying, to be beaten by a kid, not good feels, man.
Logan's levels in Mario Maker 1 were tough.
I know. I played them, and that's why I'm like.
And it's not like they were. I didn't think they were actually poorly designed either.
No, they were really well designed. They were very well put together, well thought out.
Kid had his shit together, and yeah, he knew how to just. I mean, he knew how to mess with the player, and I respect that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I remember those feels. I don't know if I want to go through those feels again.
Okay, so we ready to start?
I guess.
Okay, you need to put your Pro Controller down.
You told me to post my level on post.
I know. Yeah. What are you doing now? You said it was uploaded. What are you doing?
It said write a description.
Oh, okay. Well, that's when you say I'm writing a description.
Big swinging dick. That's what you got to write. That's what I call big swinging hooks.
Look, so I have to imagine there's all kinds of penises all over Mario Maker right now.
Probably not, because I'm sure they edited it out pretty well. They're a family company.
All I can see is Miyamoto and all the Nintendo higher ups going through and playing the penis levels and laughing their asses off. And then deleting them.
Anything on Nintendo that you can put a penis in, there's been penises in. Just saying.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, right now my camera's off. It's not where it usually is because I'm trying to reconfigure my stream setup so that way I can see chat easier with the desk that I have.
Smart.
But it's just been a pain because it has a hutch on the back of it, like it's like an L-shaped desk. And the thing is like I can't put my monitors where I want because I did have them up on the top of the hutch, but it seems like it's too high. So now I have my one monitor that I'm gaming from on there, and then I have my laptop in front of me, which is better, but then it's killing my space. And so I had to move my camera from where it was, and now I got to bring up the stream thing and put it back where it was. But I figured I'm like, it's not going to really matter a whole lot while I'm on with these guys. So is that a fidget spinner behind you, Corey? That is a fidget spinner right there behind Corey.
Yeah.
Ready.
It's his old fidget spinner.
Who?
The fidget spinner behind you. It's right there by your Destiny figures.
Oh, this blue one? Yeah, it matches my Switch and my 3DS. Except now there's like... My nephews are playing with it, so it's got like snot and food and crap in it, and now it doesn't spin.
Oh, dude, I had the Destiny 2 fidget spinner. I sold that thing for $100 on eBay.
Well, good for you. I don't got one. This one was like 10 cents. My mom gave it to me.
It was back when fidget spinners were a thing, and then GameStop didn't have anymore.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.